What's good, everybody? Drive Time back at it again. So, we got to talk about these celebrity wives and how they refuse to play their position in their marriages. So, we've all seen, well, not all, a lot of us have seen the whole recent tirades that Michelle Obama have been on. Now I hear Aisha Curry is out here saying wild stuff. And there's many more that could be named that we always see when these women who are married to very, very famous, high-level men, some of them just don't know how to act. I mean, you got whole TV shows of celebrity housewives and stuff where they just out here wilding out because they got this desire to be famous because they can't just accept the rich part. Like, they need to be rich and famous. They can't just be rich. And I've heard women try to argue this point, like a woman's identity should be something separate from her husband's, and they shouldn't have to be wholly attached to him. And it's like, okay. When women say that, fellas, just understand that's a woman that has no clue what it means to be a wife, for one. But two, they say it about people who never accomplished anything. Like, other than Michelle Obama being Barack Obama's wife, what did she do? Like, before that, like, other than her just being his wife, what did she do ahead of that? Like, I know she wrote a book, but she was able to do that because of her name being attached to Barack Obama. I know she's got a podcast or something like that, but again, she does it under the guise of Barack Obama's wife. Like, nobody was prior to this like, oh, here's this. Like, the way I would say the difference is you have a person like Gabrielle Union who routinely emasculates her wife, but you knew who she was before she got married. Then she married a famous person and she just continued to, try to outshine them. Same as like a Jada Pinkett. Like, she routinely emasculated her son, wife, husband, whatever you want to call him. I don't even know at this point. He's trying to get back into good graces, but she had a career. She was successful. Her accomplishments were dwarfed by her husband's and nearly matched by her son, but whatever. That's unfair. Her son didn't nearly match her accomplishments. If you combine her son and daughter, then yeah, they did. But anyway, like, that's one thing. But then you get somebody like an Aisha Curry, like, nobody knew who she was. I think one of her complaints was she wanted to do all this stuff and then she didn't because she got married and she had to get on his program and be his wife. And it's like, what? It always amazes me when you get these women, like I said, you have just about everything and it's still not enough. And you even got like TikTok people and non-famous people talking about, I have my dream husband and it's just so hard and I don't want this and then, because they still want external validation from the world. That's why women don't like getting rid of their Instagrams when they get in relationships. That's why they want to go out and chase the bag and get degrees and all this other stuff, because they don't want to be aligned with second place. That's just what it is. And the sad part about it is, if you let them be on their own, they still second place to most other people around them because they not accomplished anything. Like I said, nobody was going to be out here buying a Michelle, whatever her maiden name is, book. Nobody was going to be out here going to a Aisha, whatever her maiden name is, restaurant, had it not been spearheaded, funded, and probably supported by her husband's finances. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where I always tell young men, like, be really careful in your selection process. Because if you got a woman that's super driven on herself, she's not going to be able to fall into her position as a helpmate to you. she's going to constantly be trying to do for herself. And ultimately, it's going to make your relationship or your household suffer. Now, you might get a scenario where you say, okay, you have the better earning potential or whatever, so I'm going to have you go out and pursue whatever it is you want to pursue, and I'll do other stuff. Like, I've done that for my wife before. Like, we know who has the higher earning potential. We know whose jobs will make the most money. And I supported our household for, I want to say, the first half or more of our marriage. And then she was like, I really want to pursue something in my career field. I want to see if I can move up. I said, okay, cool. So then she switched. I changed my hours and I changed my workflow so that she could do that, because she really, really wanted to. That can happen, but the difference is when you have somebody like a Curry or an Obama that sabotages in order to make it happen. Like, they go out here and say the most wildest, outlandish stuff, and it's not even like, all because you trying to stay relevant when you aren't. Like, and the funny part is, you never see guys doing this. Like, nobody's ever heard Stedman on a podcast ranting and raving. Nobody's ever heard Monique's husband on the podcast ranting and raving. Like, all these famous women who got, like, not famous husbands, you never hear their husbands on podcasts ranting and raving like this. But the women love doing it. It's insane. So, again, fellas, this is one of the things that you need to pay attention to. If you are meeting somebody, let's say you out in the college scene, and that's where you're doing your whole selection process, you're trying to find somebody, pay attention to what they're in school for. Pay attention to what kind of degree and career field they're trying to go after. Because if they're telling you that they want to be a surgeon, CEO, software engineer, any kind of like high level like job where they're going to have to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week, and they're going to have to do 6+ years in school, and they want to be in charge of people, they want to be the boss of a bunch of stuff, leave them alone. Leave them alone. The best thing you can do for them is wait until somebody you know is breeding puppies, get them one, tell them, and wish them well. Don't. Because it's not. Unless you in a field that's still going to be higher than what they're in, maybe, but even then, probably not. Because their mindset is going to be off. And it's been proven time and time again. And many of y'all know these same people. And there's going to be a lot of people who try to deny it because you're going to want to go by anecdotal. But what ifs? And I know some people who, and that's great for you. And if that's how you want to judge, you know, the scenarios and choices you make, do it. But for everybody else that thinks rationally, do not. Because it's just going to end up putting yourself in bad situations. You're not going to be happy. Your marriage is not going to work right because your household is not going to be in order.